Yeah.
You want to like him, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. You straight gangsters over here.
Straight
man.
gangsters.
Ah.
Yeah, good morning and welcome back. That's right, you were listening to Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, right here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. I am one of your gracious hosts. They call me Loudbeard.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
Yeah, I guess all of that is true. And the man on the other microphone, he is a great American, a great patriot. His underwear is striped in red, white, and blue.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is June the 18th. No, 19th? God, I thought I was
19th.
going to
Come
nail
on,
it.
man.
19th.
You're killing me.
Wednesday, June the 19th, 2019. It is 6/19/19. All right. Giggity, giggity.
Yeah, you're
All
going
right,
to do
well,
that joke?
Loudbeard.
Okay. Good job.
Rolling with that one early in the morning.
Killing
Because
it.
it's Wacky Wednesday with I forgot what your name was, but I'm the Jizz.
Scooter. I'm
Scooter and the Jizz. Wacky Wednesday.
God, I love Wacky Wednesday, man. Wacky Wednesday, this is what I live for. It's not hump day anymore. It is Wacky Wednesday.
So, Loudbeard, last
Yes.
night I'm watching Taken. Haven't seen it in a long time. And I want to know, what is your favorite somebody kills or kidnaps somebody and then guy goes on a tear to like find out who did the original crime of either killing or kidnapping. So you have Taken, right? Another one of my favorite movies like that is Man on Fire with Denzel.
Yeah, that's a pretty quality one. Man, you're throwing me on the spot here. I'm going to have
Okay.
to think about this. I got a couple.
I thought of it. My favorite, and I know you said you enjoyed it, but you didn't like love it like I did, is John Wick. Because the dog gets killed at the beginning, and that's all it takes for John Wick to go on a killing rampage is for you to kill his dog.
It's true. You kill his dog.
It honestly made it more heartwarming, heartfelt.
Yeah. I think
Maybe
the
you really
movie
are put on a spot.
Kickboxer with. I'm sorry.
You said you really are on a spot.
Yeah. You threw me a topic on the spot, trying to make me think of it. I'm thinking back what movies are the best, and Kickboxer. I think that's my favorite.
I haven't seen that
1989.
one.
You haven't seen Kickboxer? Jean-Claude
Who's in
Van
that one?
Damme's
Oh,
finest
Jean-Claude.
movie. Yes, and he has to avenge his brother. There's this kickboxing tournament, and his brother gets killed in the tournament, and then he has to train and go back and avenge his brother. And I guess he knows who the murderer is because it's a public scene, but
Well, wait, is it a murder? Because if you just die in a tournament, isn't that more of like an accident?
this wasn't an accident. This seemed to be intentional.
Oh,
The guy that
so
killed
you
his
gotta say it
brother.
like this. It seemed like an accident, but this was no accident. It was murder.
Yeah, okay. I could do it with the
Kickboxer,
creepy
huh?
deep voice. Yeah.
They need more of those cheesy 80s like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies on Netflix or Hulu. What are you guys doing giving me all this other crap? Give us Time Cop. Give us Bloodsport. Give us Street Fighter.
You like rom-coms, huh?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's
they
what
all
Netflix is.
are romantic comedies.
They are. I agree
I always
with
like
that.
those types of movies, growing up as a as an adolescent, just, going through puberty and stuff because they always had those cheap quick little nude scenes in them.
Oh, yeah, the nude scenes. You're out of control. You were a big Skin of Max fan too, I bet. Hey, I'm gonna
plead
play
the
this
fifth.
video clip here. We'll hear the
Okay.
auditory part of it of Kickboxer. Oh, never mind. It's a damn commercial coming on first.
Oh, you gotta have the
I hate
commercial
that.
first. Come on, dude. It's
Yep.
YouTube. Unless you pay for the subscription, you gotta go through the commercial first.
Yeah, that's true. We're not playing videos on YouTube though. That we would never do that. That would
Right. I'm
copyright
just saying,
infringe.
like, if you did.
With your mind, your heart, your whole being. I'll win that fight for you and me.
For honor. For love. For justice. Jean-Claude Van Damme. The power of a warrior. The heart of a champion. Kickboxer.
Yeah, that's the one right there. That one gets
The
me
heart.
every time.
Of a champion.
Yeah, that, and I don't know if that falls into your category of. I mean, it's not a kidnapping per se, but
No, but
he's
it's
avenging
still
his brother.
Right. It's somebody, like I said, either somebody kills them or they kidnap them, and then they have to go on like a killing spree to figure out who it is, and you go through their entire empire network of people, and you kill a lot of goons, and then you finally get to that end scene where there's like one cheesy line. My favorite cheesy line, and it's not part of this genre of movies, but it was the True Lies, where the guy's hanging on the missile on the jet, and Arnold's like, "You're fired," and then he shoots the missile out, blows the bad guy up. Good
That was your
scene.
favorite scene from True Lies.
Well, well, yes. I mean, that's
Wasn't
my
that
favorite.
Jamie Lee Curtis inappropriate
No.
scene.
That
You
was
didn't
my
like
favorite
that one?
scene.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
saying
just-
it was my favorite, like, end of movie, I finally got the best of you, checkmate type line.
Gotcha. No, I'm with you on that. I can dig it. I can dig it. True Lies was a heck of a ending. I don't know if that competes with the Endgame ending with Robert
how did that
Downey
one
Jr.
go?
Can't tell you.
Oh, that one? Yeah. That
Yeah.
ending would have been good if that was the ending, but then you had like 30 minutes of like just, okay, let's wrap everything else up and set up the next 15 movies.
I don't know if they were doing that now. I think it was more wrapping up. I don't know if it was additional setup. You thought there was
I mean, you
additional
got the
setup?
Black Captain America setup. You had a couple of setups in there. I'd have to rewatch it.
Okay. Yeah, you might be right on that one. But I'm looking at this kickboxer thing, and I don't think his brother died. I think he was paralyzed. The guy broke his back.
Oh, okay. That's why he's like, I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to fight
Yeah.
for honor.
Yep, that's what it was. I bet that movie's not as good if I go back and watch it now as I remember it. Young
No, it's
Loudbeard
definitely
loved
not.
that movie, man.
It's definitely
1989.
not. You'll love it, but for a different reason. You'll be like, God, this is so bad. And that's why you said it's a rom-com, because I'm sure there's romance, and you're going to be dying laughing the whole time while watching it.
There
at
is
how
a little
stupid it
romance. He fights for love too. He's a lover. He's a lover and a fighter.
So Taken was on AMC. That's how I kind of got onto it. And I had to watch like the last 3 minutes of Armageddon, and I thought it was funny that was on after you had mentioned it the other day. And that
I love Armageddon. That to me is an
Yes.
underrated movie. It is up there with one of my favorite movies. Yeah, it's a little cheesy, but it's a thrill ride all the way through. There's a great love story. There's a great world-ending story, and not to give away any spoilers, but when one of the main characters dies in the end, it
Yes.
always makes a movie more satisfying, even though you don't want to see somebody die. It almost feels more real.
So this movie, and I was watching it too, and it was like to the T. They had every single bit of the formula you need to make the audience get up and be like, man, I'm proud to be American. I'm ready to go save the world. And it was just that scene at the end where there's the slow-mo walk off the plane, and you see Ben Affleck, and he goes and like Liv Tyler runs to him, and they like embrace each other, and then the one guy comes to Liv Tyler and says, "Hi, I'm Captain so-and-so of the U.S. Air Force, 5th degree," like lists off all his rankings and all the things he's done. He's like, "I want to shake the hand of the daughter of the bravest man I've ever known." And then there's just like that whole crying scene, and then there's like jets flying over in formation, and the American flag flying, and the music, and it's like, yeah, let's go save the world, America. It was awesome, man.
I got
Me describing it
goosebumps.
right now to you
I
makes
got
you want to like,
goosebumps right now.
yeah,
Chills.
It makes you want to just rip your shirt off, slam a natty light, and go run down the street with American flag, doesn't it?
Isn't that kind of how Independence Day did
Yes.
it also? That was that formula,
Yes.
right? Like it was Armageddon, Independence Day. They really knew how to do those
They
right.
knew how to just get those patriotic feels going, man. I loved it.
Those warm mouth patriotic feels.
And I thought about it too. I was like, why aren't like End Day or destruction movies like this anymore? Like it
Yeah,
seems to just be all CGI and no storyline, no passion.
They're missing the boat. This is what's wrong with movies right now. They're talking about this being one of the worst summer for movies ever. Box office, like everything's down because these movies just don't have the same heart like they used to have. We're spending so much time doing all the computer graphics and everything that we forgot what the real story is about. It's about the human touch and the human emotion, and we're missing that.
Do you think it also has to do with like that Endgame hangover? Because Endgame was so amazing that now we're just okay. Men in Black 5, whatever it is, 17. All right, Will Smith's not in it. You want to go see it? No, I don't want to go see it. All right, we'll catch it on DVD. We'll catch it on Redbox.
Well, I'm kind of curious of how Spider-Man does, if that's kind of a theory.
That might.
Because
I think that'll be a shot in the arm for the movie industry. I think that'll bring back the summer
need that.
the summer hits.
Yeah, Men in Black. I might watch that when it comes out on Netflix. I might take the time to do that, but I'm not going to go to the theater to watch that. Just doesn't look like it's going to be
No, that's a Redbox
great.
movie. And
Yeah.
then I might even wait a little bit just to see if it comes out on Netflix too.
Yeah, there's a few movies like that out there. Not that there's bad movies going on right now. Aladdin was a big Disney movie. I got a few people excited out there in the movie watching world. It's just I don't know.
So we got Child's Play coming out. Do we really need another one of those?
No enthusiasm for this one on our camp.
Toy Story 4 will be another shot in the arm. That'll do well.
Yeah, that'll be a huge hit, but I'm over
To be
Toy
honest
Story
with you,
too,
I
man.
feel like I'm surprised, but at the same time, Disney's playing their cards right. Because I'm saying, like, I'm surprised that we're not on Toy Story 10 because of how much money this thing makes. But I think the way that they've done it and how they've dragged out the storyline for what is it now, going on 25 years? I think that was a good formula for them to just make it even print out more money.
Yeah, Disney's very smart on how they release these movies. And Toy Story 4, I mean, I say, okay, I don't want to see it. Well, I'm not the demographic that they're aiming after, right? They're aiming after the ones that people with little kids that want to go see it. Now, my daughter is 11. She probably would want to see it, but I think she's kind of a little bit older than the demographic. It's that, that 5 to 9-year-old range and parents that have to go see that. And you're going to find that this is probably going to be the biggest box office hit since Endgame.
Yes,
I think
for
Toy
sure.
Story. I wonder if Toy Story will trump Spider-Man. That's going to be the big question. Those are the two that'll go at it. The titans of the summer of movies.
Well, Toy Story, I believe, comes out like 2 weeks before Spider-Man. Yeah, Toy Story comes out this weekend, June 21st. And then Spider-Man is what, July 4th weekend?
Yes.
Yes, July 12th. No. Did I pass it? Yeah, I passed
don't
it.
know, I'm
Okay, yeah,
guessing.
it's
It's in
July 5th.
July, though.
July 5th,
Okay.
yeah. So 2 weeks later. So that'll be interesting to see because Toy Story 2 will have a strong, Toy Story 4 will have a strong 2 weeks. And then Spider-Man will come, and will that third week steal away from Spider-Man a little bit? Or will Spider-Man just absorb everything Toy Story has to offer, and they're really just stuck with those last few, like you said, those 5 to 9-year-olds? Because there are going to be a lot of, I think, college kids and stuff that like grew up on Toy Story that'll go see it in the movie theaters and stuff because there are a lot of adults who just love kid movies, even if they don't have kids.
That is true. Now,
The funny
have a
thing about
question.
Toy Story movies
Oh.
is who is it? Not Tom Hanks. Who's the other guy? Why can't I think of his name right now?
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen. Tim Allen is kind of like Floyd Mayweather, where you'll see from time to time Floyd Mayweather will be on the list of celebrities or athletes who made the most money in that year, and that's because he took like it's $300 million fight, and then he'll drop off the list the next year because he's not doing anything. Tim Allen is that comedian where he'll jump up on the celebrity like, hey, this guy made the most money, and he'll be in that top 10 list because of Toy Story. Like that thing has just generated him more money than probably all of his other stuff combined.
Oh, I didn't realize he was getting paid that much for the voice acting part.
Oh, I'm
So,
sure he
yeah.
does. He does, man. He's Buzz Lightyear. Like that's it. So I'm sure he's got his contract written out for some sweet royalties and everything else on that.
Yeah, that's smart. That's the best way to do it. Just like Robert Downey Jr. did with Iron Man, he was making tons
Yeah.
of money. He was printing money towards the end. Little small fact about that. The first Iron Man, he was not the highest paid actor on set. It was actually Terrence Howard, who played Captain Rhodes at the time. Ended up later on becoming War Machine. Well, they ended up canceling Terrence Howard because they wanted to cut his salary because they overpaid him for the first movie, and he was making more than Robert Downey Jr. That's why they moved on to Don Cheadle. Just random fact for today.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. But Terrence Howard wish he would have took that pay cut, and then it would have just gradually been more and more money. Don Cheadle's living it up. I would much rather be War Machine than, well, I guess some people love that Empire show. He ended up going and doing that. I bet he's all right. Can't even say anything about that. I did have one question for you.
Yeah.
There's this teaser for Spider-Man that came out, and it shows a web slinging, and it looks like it comes in the pattern of a 4. Do you think they're going to introduce Fantastic Four in the Spider-Man movie? This is what they're kind of like leading up to. Is it too soon for this? Are we too quick on the draw?
It's
Or do
either
you-
that or they're going to introduce the Four Horsemen with like Dean Malenko, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, and who else
The
is
other
the Four
guy.
Horsemen? Lex Luger. Was Lex Luger ever Four Horsemen? I feel like he was at one
I
point.
feel like he was at one point. They went through it quite a bit.
They went through a bit.
It was really
Yeah.
only 3 of them that were the main ones, like you said.
Yeah, Arn
but-
Anderson and Ric Flair, I think, were like 2 of the mainstays. Who was that? It was Dean Malenko. Oh, Chris Benoit, I think, was a Four Horsemen too at one point.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was an in and out because the Four Horsemen were around in like the 80s.
Yeah, they
were
were
around
in
forever.
the 80s, and then they brought them back in the 90s to kind of take on the NWO a little bit. It's good times.
Yeah. Hey, I was thinking about this movie Bloodsport. I can't let it go. The brother of Jean-Claude Van Damme breaks his back, and he kind of reminds me of Matt Stafford, Chris America. The brother
Okay.
of Jean-Claude Van Damme reminds me a lot of Matt Stafford because a report comes out that Matt Stafford played with a broken back last year. And not to make excuses for him because I don't think he had the best of years, but a report comes out that he had multiple broken bones in his back for the most of 2018, and he played through those injuries. Is there a certain point where you should maybe not try to play through an injury?
Yeah, and I never understand when people say he played with a broken back. So does that mean his spine or like the back of his rib cage? Like, what are we talking about here? Because I feel like there is a difference in each injury. So, but I guess if it was a spine, I think they would say there's a spinal injury. I don't know, man. I don't know enough about the back, but yes, the back is one of those things where don't play through that, man. Just like with your head. If something else happens, it's one of those like life-altering type injuries.
Well, I'm glad he played through the injury because it really helped the Lions make the playoffs.
It did.
They went far.
Mm-hmm.
It was really worth it. No? Was
Now-
it worth it?
Speaking of injuries, Loudbeard,
Yes.
did you see Max Scherzer's batting practice?
Yeah, broken nose, my friend.
Broken nose. Did you see how he broke his nose?
I read the story. I did not see the video. Was there a video on it?
There is, and now I'm trying to find the thing. Hold on. But yes, he was doing bunting practice, and a ball
Okay.
hit him right in the face.
Yeah, that's a tough injury. That's one of those ones that stings a little bit. You know, you get it ball right in the face. But bunting, come on, man. Like That he needs to switch leagues. He needs someone with a B where he has a DH. This guy does not need to be in the batting box.
No, and they just need to get rid of pitchers batting altogether. It's boring. It's here. Hold on. As I
No,
make
I'm
lots of
holding.
noise here. There we go.
I hear you.
Just laying down some casual bunts from the right arm of Bob Henley. This one ricochets and hit him in the face. He's wearing some glasses there, and it did cut Max on that nose right eye area. Obviously in some pain initially. Walked off the field with trainer Paul Lassard there. A little bit of blood coming from that nose, and a scary situation for a guy who's scheduled to start tomorrow. Just lay.
Yes, I know the Sports Stance guys. I think his show comes on at 2 on Fridays on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. Make sure you tune that in. He was all concerned about the injury part of it. I'm more concerned about the boringness of bunting part of it. Here we have a guy practicing bunting. That's what we're doing. It's like baseball is basically admitting these guys are so far behind on being an actual batter that we're any time trying to teach them how to bat. We'll just teach them how to bunting practice. Get rid of the damn pitcher, put in a DH in the NL.
Wow, that's a crazy way to take that. You want to get rid of bunting too? Are you anti-bunting?
No, I don't want to get rid of bunting per se. I want to get rid of a position that all they can do is bunt. That's all they're good for. Is like, all right, well, I guess if we want to get something done out of this guy, we might as well have him bunt.
Okay, well, I don't know if man, that's a tough way to put it. I like when the pitchers hit, especially when the pitcher is a decent hitter. The problem is
there's
50,
a few and far between.
Yeah, I was gonna say 50%. I'm thinking now 80% of pitchers are garbage hitters. 80%. I think 20% of them.
95%. What
You think
would you
95%?
what kind of batting average do you think would be a decent batting average? To where you see a guy come up to the plate and you say, okay, something's going to happen here.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it for pitchers and being at the bottom of the lineup, they got to be hitting better than 175 to be up there.
To me, if you're not batting over 250, I don't like. What are you doing on my screen? Let me go grab a beer.
kidding me?
This guy's gonna strike out. This guy's gonna ground out. He's gonna like foul a bunch of balls, or he's gonna bunt on.
You can look at any Major League Baseball starting lineup, and you're going to find
Yes.
guys under 250.
You are gonna find guys under 250.
Yeah.
And so I can either add another guy that's like more likely going to be around 170, or I can just get a DH who's really good at hitting and have him at 250 or higher. Because if your DH is under 250, then he's probably not going to be your DH.
I don't know, man. I think your average is a little bit higher there than you would think. There's a lot of guys in Major League Baseball that are sitting there under 250 that have starting spots, man.
We got the notifications flying in. I knew this topic would get the Craft Brewed Sports guys going.
Yeah, got Memphis Spence going too, man. Everybody's getting fired up.
Why do I hate baseball? Because pitchers bunting every single time they get to the plate is boring. It puts people to sleep. Bunting is great in certain spots, especially when you're trying to get a sacrifice area. But that's more of a situational thing, not here's this guy. I guess bunt. Or I guess just swing and hope for the best guy. We'll get the catcher to put on his plates and his helmet and everything. He'll get ready and just be ready to pitch when you strike out and get us our double ground out. Or ground out double.
Okay. Well, you got all the answers. They're not bunting every time, and there are some pitchers out there that are exciting to watch. Madison Bumgarner is one that comes to mind. And
Madison Bumgarner could be a DH. When he's not pitching, make him a DH. Or make him a DH when he is pitching. Boom, problem solved.
So only some pitchers could be the DH if we wanted them to. You have the choice.
Yeah, I mean, the manager can make whoever he wants the DH, right? Isn't that how that works?
Yeah. Well, as you were mentioning, Craft Brewed Sports, Mike Berlon tweeting in here, and he's got a good point. This is quality take here, Mike. They need to let the pitchers at the lower levels or bat at the lower levels, so they aren't just auto outs in the MLB. They should be getting some batting practice in more often. They need to be prepared as they go up through the ranks. They need to be hitting the ball.
Now,
getting
here's
some practice in.
Here's where my baseball knowledge hits its limit. Is it just depend on each minor league? Do all minor league teams make pitchers bat? Is it still like an NL AL thing? How does this work on the minor league levels with the pitchers batting?
I don't know who you're asking.
Anybody.
I don't
Anybody
know all
who
the
knows.
ins and outs of minor league baseball.
Okay, so you don't know. So maybe Mike Berlon or Memphis Spence knows, or somebody else out in the Twitter world knows. Do the pitchers bat in minor leagues? Is it different for each minor league, or like I said, I don't know how this works. Do the pitchers even hit in college? I can't remember. I've watched a bunch of Gator college games, but I can't remember if the pitchers bat. I don't think they do. Because college realizes that pitchers batting is boring and DHs are more exciting. Chicks dig the long ball.
All right. There you go. Yeah, I don't know what to say to all that, Chris America. I don't have all the answers. Let's see. All minor league and college games use DH.
You know what you say to
that's
that?
the problem.
Yeah.
That's
So,
what
I
Mike
mean,
Berlon told us.
If all minor league teams are using the DH, then just have all of baseball use DH. I mean, Mike Berlon makes a good point. They should have them batting in the minor leagues, but if you're not going to do that in the minor leagues, if you're not prepping these guys for everything, especially in the NL, I can understand if it was still like an NL AL thing where, all right, this AL team owns like the Birmingham Biscuits or whatever. Okay, fine. Then they don't have it. Then they can have the DH. But whatever the Colorado Rockies, minor league team is, they should probably be having their pitchers batting. But since they're not, and they're not developing the pitchers like they should, then we get these crappy batters or crappy pitchers who are crappy batters, and it's just baseball needs to be more exciting. It needs to give fans more reasons to stay tuned. And when you have one guy who's hitting like 111, he's a hell of a pitcher to watch, but then when he gets up to the plate, it's like, all right, that was a good rally we had going. Maybe he can bunt somebody on. Or, all right, we got 2 outs. Pitcher's up to bat. Let me go grab a beer. Or let me change the channel, see what's on other TVs, and then you never come back.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you one way, other than eliminating the pitcher, that baseball can make it more exciting. And that's by following the minor league baseball teams and doing some of the crazy antics that they do. I don't know if you saw this story, but there was a minor league baseball team that wore dad bod jerseys the other day in honor of Father's Day.
Yeah.
And the dad bod jersey was basically, it looked like you were shirtless. So the jersey itself looked like one of those beach shirts that, make you look like you have a good body, but it had a dad bod where it was like chest hair and fatness and it had a weird tramp stamp tattoo on the back to show it was an interesting little jersey. And if baseball wants to get more interesting, they need to do what the minor leagues do. And the minor leagues don't hold back. They do whatever they can. So, yeah, this team wore a dad bod jersey in a real minor league baseball game, and I loved it, Chris America. It was disgusting. It was gross. Why a normal dad bod jersey would have a tramp stamp tattoo on the back, that threw me through a loop a little bit. I didn't realize that was a thing on the dad bod scene, but it was like a hairy-chested, just gross dad bod jersey. That's what we need.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. They should have done the tramp stamp. They should have done the man, why am I so bad with names every morning?
I don't know. Do you like the lifelike nipples?
They are pretty gross. They are pretty gross.
You need to take a screenshot of that and retweet it on our Scout Team page so people can see what we're talking about.
Now they should have gone with the Batista belly button tattoo. That's the name I was looking for.
Oh, that's what you're thinking of?
That's what they should have gone with. My
Oh,
sister
man.
once dated a guy who had that same exact tattoo, and the second I saw that and met him, I was like, all right, time for you to go.
The first
You're
time
not
you met
allowed
him,
to-
he wasn't wearing a shirt?
No, well, because it was like a pool party or something.
Oh, okay. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
You redeemed yourself.
Yeah, I was like,
get
you gotta
nervous.
go. Like, you're not allowed to date my sister. Unfortunately, I don't have, decision-making power in that aspect of her life. And so she continued it Chris was right. Should have
Yeah.
listened to the good old Chris America.
Yeah, the belly button tattoo. That's a little weird. Have you ever seen the movie
That's
Jeepers
a giant
Creepers?
red flag, man. Huh?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Jeepers Creepers?
I have not.
Okay. Well, it's a quality flick. You should see it. What was that? A mid 2000s type scary movie type deal. Well, the main character, he's got a belly button tattoo, and I don't want to give a spoiler alert away, but in the end, that it does not end well for that belly button tattoo. Just saying, it's cut off.
It never.
in
It never.
many pieces.
The belly button tattoo never ends well for anybody,
Yeah.
except for Dave Bautista. He's doing okay for himself.
Let's just
I don't
say
know
the
if he's
only way
the
they could
original.
identify the body is because of said
Yeah.
belly button tattoo.
I got you.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
name of this
Loudbeard.
episode, should it be belly button tattoo?
Sure, why not?
All right,
Belly
it's
button
done.
tattoos. Done.
Got it. Putting it
I think
on
we
there.
need to go to break though.
You do?
Well, it's 6:31
Man,
on June 19th.
you're living on this world where time means everything. To me, time means nothing. But the only thing that doesn't mean nothing is commercial break. See you soon. Oh man, and I totally don't have it set up because
How did you not play yourself into the? I get it when I do it, and you're not ready.
Yeah. I had it set up with the blood support thing earlier.
Yeah. I
But
hear you,
that's
I hear
okay,
you.
man. You know
Yeah.
what? It's all good.
It's all gravy, baby.
Yeah, we're getting Hey, Kawhi, what are you laughing at, man? This isn't funny. Fantasy sports reimagined. FanDuel, that's what I'm talking about. It is more than just fantasy sports. It's the best way to watch the games, win real cash, and bring the action right to your living room. Just choose a contest, make your picks, watch, and win. And if you go to FanDuel.com/STR today, you can get a $5 deposit bonus. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/STR. Come on, man. This is not a laughing matter. If you've been listening to Scout Team Radio for a long time, you know that myself, Loudbeard, has placed a bet or two in his day. That's right, I've lost the beard bet, I lost the romper bet, but one place I don't like losing is when I bet money, and I can easily do that at MyBookie. That's right, you can go to mybookie.ag, use promo code 12OZSports, and get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Hey, guess what? That is a lot of money. Do it.
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. "12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst."
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Patriot, Chris America, and I want you to listen every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and on replays from 11 a.m. to noon of Scout Team Sports. Listen, George Washington did not cross over the ocean blue in 1492 to defeat the Nazis, so you can listen to the same tired national clickbait sports stories. So once again, tune in to us every single morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then we replay from 11 to noon. I will see you there, and God bless America.
Welcome back, and thank you all for listening in. Once again, we are Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday. He's Chris America. I'm Loudbeard. You can always catch us live right here, 6 a.m. on 12-Ounce Sports Radio. We also simulcast on the Full Press Radio Network. So if you're listening right now on the Full Press Radio Network, we thank you for listening in. You can also catch us on the Barn Burner Podcast Network. Our good friends up at Barn Burner are out of Toronto, Canada. So our friends up there in Canada who are listening in on Barn Burner, thank you. God bless Canada and God bless America. You can catch our live show at 6 a.m., but if you can't catch it, if that's too early for you, don't forget we do have a podcast. Hit up that podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or anywhere you find a podcast. You can just search Scout Team Radio, including hitting up our website, scoutteamradio.com. And lastly, don't forget to hit us up on Twitter at Scout Team Radio. We like to get interactive. We like to get social. We've had a ton of hot tweets coming in this morning. Mike Verlon's tweeting in. Memphis Spence is tweeting in, and we want to thank all of you for tweeting in on us. We really, truly appreciate it. Now, Chris America, I didn't tease this before the break, but I should have. I saw an article that says baby names right now, you're starting to see an influx of babies named after Marvel characters because of all this in-game madness and all of that.
We saw that with Star Wars when they rebooted it, or they brought back the first 3 chapters. Oh yeah. And so I guess this article's a little bit old. I don't know why it came in front of me just now, but it was saying in 2017 there was a lot of, let's say, there was I think it says the number here, 96 babies were named after Loki. That seems like a high number of babies named Loki. I know that's a small drop in the bucket in the amount of babies that were born in 2017, but really you're naming your baby Loki. They also said that Rocket, Quill, Drax, Nebula, and Hawkeye were all popular baby names in 2017. And then in 2018, T'Challa and Shuri also started climbing the rankings. So yeah, I can see
I
that
ask you, if you were to name, if you had a small child brought into this world today, let's just say some weird accident happened and you became like Arnold Schwarzenegger in that one movie where he had a baby. If you were having a baby today, would you name it, or what Marvel superhero would you name it?
Oh,
and
that's
I'm putting
easy.
you on the spot now. Oh, you got
that's
this.
easy. Yeah, because 1, it's a normal name. 2, it's a strong name, and it's my favorite Marvel character or comic book character of all time. That's Logan.
Oh,
strong name. Doesn't sound weird. Like, my kid's not going to grow up being called Rocket or Nebula or anything weird like that. Because, like, at least with T'Challa, like, that's a cool name. That's like an actual name. But you're naming your kid Nebula and Drax. Like, I guess Drax is kind of cool. But, I mean, basically you're telling your kid he has to wear bandanas and have tattoos. That's what I think of when I think of Drax. But, yeah, Logan for sure.
Okay,
Wolverine would be weird, but Logan, definitely.
Yeah, a buddy of mine's son is named Logan. He's a couple years old now, but I remember when he was born, I was like, "Welcome to the world, Weapon X."
Weapon
and that's
X.
what I call him now. He's officially nicknamed Weapon X.
That's awesome.
It's best way to do it, man. That's quality. All right, well, good answer there, Chris Mary. I don't have an answer. I'm thinking Hulk. Yeah,
Hulk.
Hulk would. Yeah,
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash.
Thor would be a good one, but again, that's a name you got to live up to.
Yeah, you have
Like,
to
you
have
can't be
long
some, like,
Goldilocks
wimpy-
and
You can't be some wimpy kid running around named Thor.
no. Yeah, you got to be tough guy Thor. Chris America, I know we've been going off the rails on basketball as of late, but I did want to bring up this trending story here. It looks like there is a inevitable breakup / divorce coming here in Houston. Chris Paul and James Harden, they got in a little feud at the end of the basketball playoffs because Chris Paul thought they should be passing the ball around a little bit more, and James Harden, he's a little bit more of an ISO guy. Well, apparently this is irreconcilable differences, and both players have come to management and said it's him or me. Chris Paul has demanded a trade, and James Harden said, I am not going to play with this guy next year. So it looks like one of these guys has to go, and it looks like it's not going to be pretty. But Houston, they have got some decisions to make, and Chris Paul is the obvious answer to go, but they owe him a lot of money, and I don't know if somebody's willing to take on that contract without sweetening the pot a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, you want to keep James Harden because he's the younger guy. He's a bit more of a superstar, and he can score you lots of points. Where Chris Paul is just a really good point guard, and you need a good point guard, but you're not going to get the point value out of him like you're going to get out of James Harden. But with that said, other teams know that as well. So if you're wanting to get a lot of value and you're not wanting to just truly, get nothing out of this trade, then don't you trade James Harden with or without the contract? Just looking at which player can bring you back more in return, do you say, okay, yeah, it's easier to build around James Harden, but we can get more pieces for James Harden, and we won't necessarily build around Chris Paul. Maybe we'll bring in another piece that we can build around, and Chris Paul will just be a complement player to that other piece. The question is who is that player out there in the NBA that you would want that you think you could get for James Harden?
I don't know if there is anybody out there. I mean, I'm thinking about it. I'm running through some scenarios in my head.
I got one for you.
You got one. Okay, let's hear it.
And I don't know if the Rockets would want to do this because this would be kind of like going into rebuild mode. But would you, if you're the Pelicans, trade that number 4 pick for James Harden?
If I were the Rockets, I would not take a number 4 pick for James Harden.
But if you're
James
the
Harden's
Pelicans,
too valuable, man. This is
that's
an
true.
MVP player.
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering. I started wondering, like, what is James Harden's draft value?
Here's the second question for you.
Yeah.
What if the Pelicans traded that number 1 overall pick for James Harden?
Now you're talking.
Right.
You're still rebuilding. You're still taking a gamble on whoever that is, most likely Zion. But James Harden's really, really good in the NBA. Zion is a sure bet, but there are no sure bets really in the draft.
Yeah, but he's the future. Like Zion has been labeled the next LeBron or the next big thing.
But we still don't know if his game translates to the NBA. We know James Harden's game translates to the NBA.
Yeah, I'm going to say that, number 1, Houston does not trade James Harden. So this is a hypothetical
I don't think so either.
scenario.
Because I really think those 2 draft picks are really, really all Houston would get for him.
Yeah. And
Anthony Davis is off the board.
Yeah.
Everybody else is kind of a free agent.
And the couple other players that are out there on the trading block, like a guy like Mike Conley, he's not up to the value of a James Harden, so you're not going to get that. And plus, then you would have Chris Paul and Mike Conley, both point guards. Now, if you could trade Chris Paul to the Grizzlies for Mike Conley, you'd be in good shape. But the Grizzlies are in rebuild mode. They're not going to want an aging point guard. What team is in that, like, we're ready to win now, we just need that one more piece to help us over the top, and that one more piece needs to be a point guard? Now, honestly, the answer there could be the Lakers, and that wouldn't it be a bad landing spot for Chris Paul?
But they traded away anything worth of value to the Pelicans.
Yeah,
they have
that's
no draft
true.
picks. They traded away 3 or 4 draft picks in the first round, so those are all gone. And then they've traded off all their. I guess they're not going to, but you don't. I mean, you don't give up Kuzma, do you? That'd be the only person of value over there.
Yeah, well, when it's all said and done, I mean, it might just be LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Kyle Kuzma left on this roster because they're trying to strip it down so they can get another max player.
Yeah,
I agree. It doesn't fit well. I'm just trying to think of scenarios that would work.
They're kind of late to the game for this, right? I feel like they got kind of left in the dust with all these other trade rumors and stuff like that. Like if they wanted to get rid of Chris Paul or James Harden, they should have done this maybe in February or at the very earliest whenever the Lakers and all that was going down.
Yeah, but in February, all this wasn't happening. This happened after the playoffs were done.
This isn't like something that just came up. They didn't just wake up one day and say, I hate playing with this guy, or that the playoffs made them realize they hate playing with each other. This has been building up, and maybe management just tried to ignore it, tried to like smooth things over, whatever they could do, but they definitely saw red flags that this was a possibility, that this was coming.
Yeah, and Mike Berlon just tweeted in, the Lakers don't have to give up much because this Chris Paul contract is garbage. They owe him like $124 million still, and it's like 4 more years. Like you almost don't have to give up much to get him because you're really just taking on a bad contract.
So maybe that's the move for the Rockets then. Just dump the contract and then try to sign Kawhi Leonard or
Now, I've got a
Jimmy
scenario
Butler.
that might work out. What about if you bring him over to the Milwaukee Bucks? You look at a team that has Giannis, that has Chris Middleton, that has Brook Lopez, that has a lot of talent. But when you're thinking point guard, I mean, Giannis is running point a lot of times. But if you brought in a guy that was a true point guard,
Yeah,
would that help that team?
I think so. It can't hurt it, right?
That's the type of team I think that needs him. That's already ready to win. That just needs an extra piece. Because Chris Paul's a winner. Now, he hasn't had a lot of success in the playoffs, but he is somebody that's been good in the NBA. He's had those good teams with the Clippers and then, had a pretty quality couple of years with the Rockets. So he's going to bring value. You just have to take on a albatross of a contract. And you have to understand that, you might get 1 or 2 or 3 quality years, and then you're going to see probably a severe decline out of Chris Paul.
Well, it'll be fun to see where this story goes. Not as fun as this fun fact that Mike Burlon tweeted out. The Dad Bod Jersey team, they also in 2012, do you remember the Manti Te'o story?
I do.
For those who don't remember, Manti Te'o, I honestly do not believe he was catfished. I think he made the whole story up all on his own so that he could get some sympathy votes in the Heisman Trophy. I will stand by that story altogether. But for those who don't remember the story, in like September of that season, he's all like, I got a girlfriend who died of cancer and blah, blah, blah. And then it ended up being like later on in the season, it ended up like she wasn't even real. She was made up by his friends or something weird like that. Anyways, they did a Lene Kakua, that was supposedly this girl's name, bobblehead night where they handed out empty boxes and did a kiss cam at the game, only showing people in empty seats or with empty seats next to them. I thought it was pretty hilarious.
So the promoters in minor league baseball need to be brought into Major League Baseball. This is what we're missing. I mean, minor league baseball teams have so much fun with what they do because they know that they're not getting a huge draw. They might as well go have a good time with it, see what you can do to help bring people into the stands. Major League Baseball needs to do that. Whoever that person is that's coming up with these ideas, the Rays need to get that guy. Like, let's get some people in the butts in the seats.
Yeah.
And dad bod jerseys and some catfishing jokes. I love it, man. This is good stuff.
Well, Loudbeard, what else is good stuff is O.J. Simpson needing our help. And we'll get Twitter involved in this too. Memphis Spence and Mike Burlon, you guys have been active this morning. O.J. needs our help, guys. He is taking an early look at fantasy football. He wants to say Patrick Mahomes was his clear number one, but because of that whole, that Tyreek Hill thing going on, he's still debating. Maybe he takes Baker Mayfield or Todd Gurley the second or the third. I don't know. Is it Todd Gurley the third? Anyways,
Third,
Todd
yeah.
Gurley, what do you think? Am I missing somebody? Who should O.J. Simpson take as his clear number one? I still say Patrick Mahomes, but I'm the president of the Patrick Mahomes fan club.
All right. So now, are you seriously asking, or are you going to read some of those tweets that followed?
Oh,
Because
should I do that?
There was a couple good ones.
All right, well, you give him advice while I look for that. Oh, one says, I bet you effing love Tyreek Hill, don't you effing scumbag. He probably doesn't do enough blow for you to hang out with him, but I'm sure you admire his work. Wow, Eric, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, there was some brutal ones. Let's see. One of them said, there are 2 people I know that you're not missing. And something about...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That one's bad.
Yep. Yeah.
Somebody
anyway.
said, I'd take a stab at Julio as well.
To me, the thread was more interesting than the
I
tweet
didn't even
itself.
look at the thread.
I'm like, OJ's trying to be serious with fantasy football,
Hold
and
on, here
everybody's
we go.
trolling.
No, you're right. What about Joe Flacco? Thought you were a fan of white Broncos. Oh my God, O.J. Simpson will be priceless just on the responses alone. This is more brutal than following like a Donald Trump thread.
Yeah, it is. It is. Speaking of Donald Trump, he was here in Orlando. Did you stop by and see him?
Mayfield. Hold on, Baker Mayfield might be risky, but it wouldn't be the first time he took a stab at a Brown.
Oh.
These are awful, man.
You opened up that can of worms. You
told
opened
me
it up.
to. You told me to. I was looking for.
But aren't you glad I
serious
did?
fantasy football advice, and then you're like, no, go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Chris.
read that
You'll thank me
thread.
later.
It's bad. People don't know.
Wow, go with Aaron Hernandez. You two have something in common.
Oh, he's dead. It's not
God.
good.
Oh wow. Okay, I won't read the next one. The one after
Wait,
that. The response to that is just awful. No, it is, and I kind of want to.
So this could be an ongoing segment on our show, Chris America. I'm going to brainstorm with you for just a second.
Yeah.
Maybe we should come up with an O.J. Simpson tweet thread segment. And anytime O.J. Simpson tweets something
I am all down for just
normal, and we just pull out the funny threads,
We'll just
tweets from the whole
Well, I think
thing,
they'll all
so.
be funny. I think, we are going to see a lot of repeat jokes. We're laughing at a lot of these jokes. There's going to be a lot of those like, oh, you take a stab at this. We're going to see that take a stab joke like 50 million times. But yes, I will be keeping a monitor on this O.J. Simpson Twitter handle.
Yeah, I saw one where it was like, oh, pick that running back. He's really good at slashing. I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know if that's funny, but definitely it's all going to be murderous type of...
Frank the Tank says, I agree with whatever you say, just don't kill me.
Oh, OJ. I'm glad he joined Twitter. He's really setting setting things straight for us. It's getting much better.
Yeah, there's a couple of Joe Flacco White Bronco jokes. The first one.
Yeah, once
killed it,
one
though.
person did it, the whole,
Yeah.
broke the seal.
I always hate that when I read like a Twitter or a Facebook comment and I have like a killer joke and then I look through to see if somebody else has that joke and somebody did. I was like, damn it, I'm too late to the show.
Yep.
They steal
You
my
always got to
thunder.
be first to the show.
Well, because you don't want to be like, oh yeah, somebody else. You went to steal somebody else's joke, and I'm like, no, I originally thought of this, and then I looked.
Nope, it was definitely somebody. You don't have original ideas. Sorry, Chris America. You just don't.
None whatsoever. Stray
Um,
kids come back. That's a Twitter hashtag right now. Stray kids come back. What is that all about?
I don't know. Speaking of stray kids, I don't know if you remember the He Hate Me player from
Yes.
the XFL.
Yeah.
Yep,
Former
Rod Smart.
Carolina Panthers. Yeah.
Yep. So he was his family said that he was missing this week. Apparently he was missing. His family couldn't find him for about a week, so they filed a missing persons report.
Okay.
And so after everybody was really worried about him, they found him safely. He was just hanging out. Just didn't want to talk to his family. He was just gone. So
Wow.
they
I mean-
filed a police report. The police had to go out searching for him. And the good news is he was found safely in Indian Land, South Carolina. Just apparently hanging
We've
out
all
there.
been there before, though, right? There's days where you're just over everything, and you're on I-4 eastbound. You're like, Asheville, North Carolina is only an 8-hour drive away. I bet I can find a cabin and just chill out. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
That thought's crossed my mind a few times.
Yeah,
in
you
life.
just keep driving. Just keep
You
driving.
just keep. You know what?
It's like that
There's an-
Finding
I got
Nemo,
credit cards.
Keep swimming.
I got credit cards I can use. Yeah, all I need is just gas money and pay for that cabin, buy some food, and just turn my phone off for a week and like just get away. But then you're like, but I have a job, I have kids, I got this and that, and then you don't. So that guy lived the dream for 1 week. I like it. I don't.
Yeah.
I wish
Good
he would
for
like
him.
left
He
a
hate me.
note. I wish he would have left a note so we didn't have to get like the police involved and cause people to worry. Just say, hey, look, taking a time out for a week. Don't bother me. I'll see you on Friday.
Now, is he the most famous jersey from the original XFL, would you say?
For sure. I think he's probably
Yeah.
the only player people remember.
That and the quarterback, Jeff Brom, that
Yeah.
hit him. Didn't he
But
get
even then,
the
I feel
concussion?
like if you were like, who's that quarterback that everybody loved? They wouldn't remember. But He Hate Me is just such a unique name that you're never gonna forget He Hate Me. Most people don't even know his real name. But you say He Hate Me and you automatically think XFL. If you said Jeff Brom, I don't think the name associates or translates as good as He Hate Me.
Okay, I can dig that. Well, we're final seconds here of the show. I have one other question for you, Chris America.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints are about to make Michael Thomas the highest paid NFL wide receiver. The man is going to get paid. Do you think he is deserving of being the highest paid wide receiver?
Who did you say? I missed the name. Sorry.
Michael Thomas.
Michael.
Wide
no.
receiver, Saints.
No.
No?
Because I feel like he's just a Drew Brees product. And that's sorry to say that, but he kind of is.
Wow. That hurts. That hurts
I mean,
deep.
we saw it with Demaryius Thomas, right? When he had Peyton Manning, he looked great. And then when Peyton Manning went noodle arm, where's Demaryius Thomas these days?
Well, first of all, do you see the quarterbacks the Broncos have trotted out? I mean, other than
That's
Case
true.
Keenum, who was a
That's
superstar, when you have Brock Osweiler throwing the ball to you, do you think you're going to be a superstar?
No, you're not. You're right. I mean, look at what happened to Randy Moss when he went to Oakland. He disappeared. So I
That's
guess
right. So
it is very dependent on the quarterback. So I don't know. Highest paid, like
And-
higher than Julio Jones, higher than I don't know who
Odell
else.
Beckham.
Odell Beckham. Michael
Higher
Thomas
than
is good,
Antonio
but
Brown.
maybe I'm just thinking he's just not flashy enough for me. I don't know.
I don't know. He gets a lot of catches. He might be worth it. But bad news for you, just like Demaryius Thomas's career and Brock Osweiler, we're going to rock out with our Brock out, and we are out.
Peace. It was a good episode. I'm gonna pat ourselves.
Yeah,
on the
I liked
back
it.
right now.
There we go.
Good times.
I hear it.
It was better than a bunt.
I'll tap for that.
All right, guys.
I
If
like
you listened to the
bunt
show, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcast, ScoutTeamRadio.com. Peace.
Speaking of bunt, what is your favorite bunt cake? Is it lemon? Is it strawberry? Is it raspberry? Is it schnozberry? Is it chocolate? Is it vanilla? Is it cream cake? The world may never know.